Hello, my name is Aaron and welcome to Board Games, Bricks, and Hobbies. This is a series where I take a look at one game and show you how to fit as much content as possible into one box. But today I'm kind of cheating a little bit. This is the only game in my collection that has more than one box. This is Last Night on Earth. It's a zombie game, and I have the game plus the first expansion plus an additional expansion and 10 different promos. Yep, basically we're going to be cramming a lot of content into these boxes, so let's get to the table and I'll show you how. Alright, so on the right here we have the base game and the original insert, and on the left here we have the Growing Hunger expansion plus its insert. I kept the original inserts because while I'm confident that if I were to take the inserts out, I could probably fit everything in one box. I think there's a compromise between space and efficiency, and I feel like ditching the inserts would just cause chaos altogether, so that's why I kept them. I did reinforce them with some cardboard underneath since they are going to get pretty heavy, so I put some reinforcement in between kind of the seams to keep it from bending down on itself. Now, with that, let's go ahead and start putting things in. On this side here, we've got the zombie minis, and those can fit in there, as well as the hero minis. And once we've done that, you can put in the soundtrack, which I actually haven't opened. I should maybe try and do a game night where we actually listen to the ambient music, because someone put some work into that. We have the characters, and these are the ones from the Growing Hunger expansion, as well as the base game. There's that. Next, we'll put in some tokens. So these are just the square tokens, number counters, letter counters. Those can go here. Wound counters. I also have the zombies, or Survival of the Fittest expansion. So those are the wound tokens and the zombie weapons. They go there. Next we have the circular tokens, so the free search markers and other door markers, things like that, and those can go there. Next we'll look at the cards. So with the cards, in the left card tray here, you're going to see the grave weapons. I just put those in at the bottom. And next up are the cards. Now the cards I like to put in alternating order. So we have the Survival of the Fittest cards, which go like that. And then next, facing the other direction, I have the Growing Hunger cards. And then I have the remainder of the cards, which include the base game cards and the advanced cards from the advanced game. Now the reason I separate these is just so that I can mix in cards when I want to use them, or when I want to use that specific expansion, because I found that if you just throw everything in, it kind of saturates the theme and it can detract from certain scenarios. Let's move on to the hero cards here. So in the left tray here, you're going to have your survival tactics and your unique items, again from the Survival of the Fittest expansion. So we put those there, and then we have the additional cards from the Survival of the Fittest face down, as well as the Growing Hunger cards the other direction, and then just the advanced cards and the normal cards from the base game. And again, I separate them so that the decks don't get diluted. You can put the dice right on top of the zombie cards right there. Now these are the Radioactive Grave Dead. It's a kind of promo expansion, and those can just go right in this small slot right there. And on top of this, we're going to put additional promos. So right here we've got the Airstrike supplement, the Hold the Line supplement, Zombie Pillage, Revenge of the Dead, and Stock Up. And again, the reason I keep these separate is so that whenever I'm playing this scenario, I will just mix in those specific cards because they tend to be scenario specific. And that way the scenario doesn't get too diluted or unwinnable or just more difficult than it needs to be. And then the player reference cards can just go on top there. Next up, we will put in these scenarios. So there's a total of 16. Wow. So in total, with all the promos and whatnot, there's a total of 16 scenarios here. And those scenario boards will just all fit in this deep well on the left side. Next, we have our miscellaneous tokens. So the radioactive goop, this looks like a first player token, but to my knowledge, there isn't a scenario that uses a specific turn order. So I'm not really sure what that flying frog token was supposed to be. Yeah, and then other tokens for various scenarios, either provided ones or custom. That's one of the things I liked about this game is there's a lot of tokens that aren't used that you can just use to make up things. We have the large round tokens, zombie pits, lights out, things like that. Those can also go in that slot. All right, and then next up on this side, we're going to put the boards. So we'll start off with the center of town there. And next we'll put in all of the L-shaped boards. So all of them will actually fit on top like so. And then the barricade markers can fit in this slot right there. The last thing to go on this side is just going to be the sun tracker. That can just go right there. And then right here we have, these are some web scenarios that I printed off just on cardstock here. So we have All Hallows Eve, Run for It. We've got to go back and the original All Hallows Eve scenario. These are available online. I believe Board Game Geek still has the files, but these are just web scenarios. So additional scenarios can go right there. And we've also got the additional rules for the kind of mini promos, expansions, or whatever you call them. So Grave Dead scenario, Zombie Pillage, and all of the other ones that we've seen before. And those can just go in here as well. And then the last thing are the instructions. So Survival of the Fittest, Growing Hunger, and the rulebook for Last Night on Earth. And once we put all of that in, we get a box fart. But no, we actually get a rather perfect fit for both boxes. And that is how you fit a whole bunch of Last Night on Earth content in one box. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do like what you see here, please give the video a like. And if you want to see more content, then you can also subscribe to the channel. Thank you again. This is Board Games, Bricks, and Hobbies. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it may be. Take care. Bye.